Hello guys, so welcome back to my channel. Today I am making a video about tips for incoming freshmen. So I took it to Instagram and I asked my fellow freshmen for some advice that they have for incoming freshmen, and I also asked some sophomores and stuff so that they could tell us what was annoying. Thank you guys to everybody who responded to my Instagram poll. If you guys want to be able to be involved in these in the future, you can follow me on Instagram. It's linked in my description box. Anyways, let's get into the video. So the first one may not apply to everybody, but make sure that you like the school that you are attending. Now, I know at least for me, I chose to go to an option school, and this means that it's like a separate school from the main school that you're normally going to. I know that there's a lot of people who decide to go to option schools who end up regretting it, and they miss out on a really fun freshman year because they're too busy worrying about switching back to their home school. And so it's just really important that you like the school you apply to and you like the school that you are attending, because that'll drastically change your high school experience. Okay, this one is really big and I got a lot of suggestions to talk about this, and that is to have good organization and study habits. This is extremely important because freshman year is the time where you are setting a base of habits and a base for the rest of high school. And if you're not building good habits freshman year, then it's going to be a lot harder when you have hard classes sophomore year and on, because that's when you can start taking APs and dual enrolled classes, and you're definitely going to want to have good organization and study skills. The next thing is to explore your school. Now, even if you go to a small school like I do, there's still so many things that you can do. And so it's really important you just explore the different clubs and classes and options that you'll have maybe the upcoming year, sophomore year, or just options for clubs and stuff that you might want to partake in. And another thing about exploring schools is kind of like knowing where everything is so you don't get too confused. For me, what I did was I printed a map of our school about a month before school started, and I just highlighted where all my classes were, and so I knew where I was going. Another great way to stay active at your school and be involved is to join sports or something, and high school is really the time where there's so many new sports teams. In middle school, there you might have only had like basketball and soccer, but in high school there are so many sports teams. It's a really great idea to try out for sports, and it just is like a great way to make friends, especially in freshman year, and you can meet a lot of upperclassmen too by doing this. This one I just kind of wish I did, because I wasn't necessarily thinking about it, but now that I reflect back, even on middle school experiences, I just kind of regret this, and that is to wear whatever you freaking want. Like, as long as it's appropriate, you know, just wear whatever you want and express yourself, because trust me, if you're worried about how people will react to what you're wearing, that's not really what's most important. Trust me, there'll be plenty of people who do like what you're wearing, and if the person that you're hanging out with doesn't like what you're wearing and that will change how they look at you, then that's probably not a person you want to be hanging out with. So, okay, so this is a really big one. And that is that your friends will change. Just know that the people you go into high school with are not always going to be the exact same best friends that you're going to come out with. And especially freshman year, everybody's exploring different things, different clubs, hobbies, sports. There's so many things that you're learning, and you're going to find new friends. It's just a big thing that you're going to make new friends, and you need to just accept that and move on. Okay, so this one actually came from one of my friends who just is finishing up sophomore year, and that is to not slack off. I totally agree with this because I know some people who even in freshman year slacked off, and it comes to bite you in your butt, man. You do not want this to be happening. This goes back to organization. It's just you need to stay on top of your stuff, because if you are slacking off and not doing your work, then you're gonna regret that later on in the school year. Okay, so this next tip is kind of something that you'll want to do maybe towards your second semester, and that's kind of what some of my friends and I are doing right now, and that is to make an academic plan. You can look at the courses and the course pathway that you'll be taking. You can talk to your counselor about it, and it's really important that you know which classes you want to take the next year, and also kind of where you can see yourself going in terms of junior and senior year. And I can put a picture of my academic plan here. So what I did was I made my ideal academic plan, and that's just kind of the schedule of all the classes that I want to take. And I know that they might not all happen, but it's just a general concept. And then my counselor made me a more in-depth academic plan that is very realistic. So then we can like talk about it and mesh them together. Okay, so this one, I for sure like in the beginning, and it takes some getting used to, and that is that in high school, you're gonna be treated more like an adult. And you're not like, I know this, people like say it all the time, oh, you're gonna be treated like an adult in high school, blah, blah, blah. But like, you're not really treated like an adult, but like, they kind of think you're one. In my experience is that you're gonna have to be an advocate for yourself. So you're gonna have to like push to get things done, or push to have things done for you, or like that type of thing in terms of school. Like for example, getting into classes that you really want to take sophomore year, just a bunch of different things. Oh, it's thundering. I just think that it's really important that you stick up for yourself and what you want to be done, because it's your education, and what really matters is that you're learning and that you enjoy what you're learning, and you can change that because you're in high school now. So, okay, this next one I have is pretty general, but it is important, and that is just seek knowledge. It doesn't even have to be like academic knowledge, because I know for a fact, like some of my teachers this year, they just like give out advice and stuff, and like different things about just life and everything, or like preparing for college, or just preparing for sophomore year, because they also teach sophomores. And I think it's just really important that you try and absorb as much knowledge as you can from your freshman year teachers, because they are all trying to help you and trying to help you be a better student and prepare you for the rest of high school. This is one that I got from a couple people actually, and that is to take advantage of your advisory period. Some people call it TA, STAR, CC, like we have a bunch of different names for it, but advisory period is like a general term. And this is just like a free block in your day. It's usually about 40 minutes where you get to go and talk to other teachers or work on projects or homework and stuff. You know how many people I waste this time? Like, honestly, I could be in school for 40 minutes less, you know? I would totally recommend getting as much done during that 40 minutes as you can. This is a really valuable chunk of time that so many kids miss out on, and I missed out on it. So I have two more, and these are kind of like social tips. And number one is, especially in the beginning of the year, just be friendly. Try not to judge people when you first meet them. I think every freshman goes in thinking that they're like, they have their friends, they don't need new ones, that type of thing. But like, just be friendly. Everybody wants to make new friends, mostly. And if they don't, then oh well, like sucks for them. They don't get to hang out with you, you know? Okay, this one is kind of based on opinion. Like obviously it can work out, but most often doesn't. And I got this from a lot of people in my Instagram poll, and that was just relationships. Most people pretty much just said they're pointless, don't do them, like just focus on you and your study habits and like how you can better yourself for the rest of high school. You can focus on relationships literally for the rest of your life. I don't really have much to say on that topic. It's just that most people seem to have the general consensus that freshman year relationships are just not where it's at. So I have two more tidbits that are just like very short little things that are directly from two of my best friends. And these are just like some things that really stood out to me, and I just loved them, and they're also kind of funny. So yeah, the first one is from Adriana, and that is to have a frickin' pencil. Okay, this is not middle school. Please just have a pencil. Like, is it that hard? Like, a pencil. You need a pencil. Okay, you're always gonna need a pencil, so please bring one. This last one is from my friend Mercedes, and this is a direct quote, and I also was talking to some other people about this, and they completely agree with this, and that is to, and I quote, "Don't think you're hot shit at school, 'cause you're not." I'm just gonna leave it on that. Like, there you go. That's freshman year for you. Comment down below any other back to school or freshman tips videos that you guys want to see, or tips that you have for incoming freshmen. And make sure to leave a like. I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.